Hey y'all, Katie here. If you live in Central Texas and you love books, you probably are listening to this podcast for a good reason, but Fayball Austin is coming. It is a book convention by day and an immersive fantasy book event by night. So come celebrate all things romantasy this Labor Day weekend at the Hilton Austin. Enjoy listening to authors, creators, and publishers discuss upcoming releases, self-publishing, representation in the literary community, and yours truly, and Abigail. She's also here.
Hi.
For more information, visit galaxycon.com/pages/Faye-ball. That's FAE-ball, or honestly, Google Fayball Austin. You will find it. And use the code %POD. That is all one word, no spaces, PERCENTPOD for 25% off tickets to the event. We'll be recording a live episode on Saturday, August 31st at 2 p.m., and we can't wait to see you there. While I have delved deep into romantasy, Abigail hasn't, so come and join us as Abigail finally reads the fan favorite A Court of Thorns and Roses, and I gently roast her during our live book club discussion. See y'all there. It's a remote recording.
It is. I'm in Houston once again, so pardon any terrible audio sounds, but I should be mostly clear. It's just using my MacBook mic, so trust that we care about quality on this podcast, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
You got to do what you got to do. You know, there's only so much you can do. Okay, so today we are talking about why men should read romance novels. And there are a lot of reasons, but we haven't talked about this before.
No, we haven't. And we actually did make our respective men read a romance novel.
Exactly. But we didn't really say, like, here's why in general this could be a good thing.
Yes.
I think we should say why cis straight men should read romance novels.
Yes. That the asterisk or the, yeah.
Yeah.
Why men who might not read romance should read romance.
Exactly. Why men who are not in the target demographic might want to read it. But when I was like Googling this, I saw a stat from Romance Writers of America, which is apparently a nonprofit. So there you go. 18% of romance fiction readers are men, which feels high, right?
It's higher than I thought it was going to be. Like, that's 1 in 5 about?
It doesn't say whether they are straight or queer, importantly, which might matter.
That might matter quite a bit.
Yeah. But I also don't know how many, like, gay men read romance. Like, I genuinely don't know. So I would assume that if this stat includes gay men, that gay men are probably the majority of this 18%.
Sure.
I would assume.
Sure.
But anyway, it's still a pretty staggering number.
Yeah, certainly more than we thought.
Yeah.
But, of course, as we know, romance is often marketed toward and often made for women.
Yes.
Really. We are the target audience, and we're glad to be the target audience.
I love to be pandered to.
I love to be pandered to. Please cater to my interests more and more every day.
Exactly.
The world itself, please. Start pandering to me.
Well, and as we were chatting about before we started recording, like, obviously there are things that are, like, really over the top in these books, right? Like sex at the bottom of a well. But these books are generally written by women for women. So in some ways it can be like a guidebook, a friendly guidebook. We're explicitly telling you what we want.
A peek into the mind of a woman.
Exactly. I was looking at this article because I was like, why men should read romance, trying to, like, get other, like, you know, ideas for what we should talk about. And one of the articles that I read said, like, it builds empathy.
This is what women are like.
Have you ever met a woman? Here's what it's like.
It's like how I say never seen a movie. I've never seen a movie. I've never met a woman. Women have thoughts and feelings.
Crazy. Wants, desires.
Wow.
Wow.
What a concept. Wow.
Anyway, so we were kind of coming up with like, because this is all with an asterisk, right? Because like we do not realistically expect any of our straight male partners to behave the way that a fictional man does. I mean, if only, but like,
They're people.
they're people.
They're people. They're
Yeah.
people. They
Um,
they can try, but
yeah. But what are some of the characteristics that stand out to you that that men written by women have that real life human men could benefit from maybe paying a little more attention to?
so I think the first one that came to mind was a willingness to apologize.
And apologize first.
Apologize first,
Yeah,
which is good for anybody to learn. That's not just like a
that's
male.
so true.
Yeah, that's not just a hey, men should apologize more. I mean, maybe they should, but that's not a male exclusive quality. But
Certainly.
I think something we see in these books is like you certainly see the fuck up of like, toward the third act breakup, if you will, of like whatever happened, whoever lied, whoever messed up, but usually they realize it and they want to make it right.
Yeah.
It usually means they have to apologize first because one, you don't want to read about an asshole who's like, well, I was right,
Yeah.
but like, and sometimes that'll lead into a grand gesture, but sometimes it just leads into an honest conversation, which I think we could all strive to do more. There's my therapy for the day. Everyone should have more honest conversations.
Okay, which brings me to my next point. Grand gestures in real life, yes or no?
See, okay.
It depends on the gesture, right?
Yes, like I'm trying like one of the grand gestures, maybe my first grand gesture I read, at least in the lore of this podcast, is in The Unhoneymooners when he meets her at the restaurant and all her entire family is there and surprises Olive with the Mai Tai and the like Hawaiian shirt and stuff like that. Very funny, very silly, but I don't think I would want to have an emotional reunion with a person in front of my entire family.
Sure.
I think like for me, a grand gesture to be a yes, it would have to be mostly private. And I kind of realized this like when I got engaged of like Austin and I got engaged on and it was very lovely. Like, don't get me wrong. And it wasn't like at a baseball game in front of like thousands of people. That would be crazy.
Right.
But we like got engaged at a museum and my sister was there and there were like a couple onlookers who like very kindly like took video for us. But I definitely had the moment of like, oh, I kind of thought I wanted like photos of this, or I thought I wanted like people there, and like maybe I didn't. Maybe it would have been nice for us to just like him have done it at home or like privately and not me think about like wanting a video of the moment or anything like that, or a picture or anything like that. Like, and Katey, that's how your engagement was. Like you guys were just like on the beach and took a selfie after.
Yeah. There were other people on the beach, but like not many because it was December. It was the day after Christmas. And so, I mean, it was pretty warm out. Like I was just wearing like a little cardigan or something. So it was pretty warm on the beach, but not warm enough for people to be like on the beach. So there were like a handful of people walking around. And we were walking our dog. At the time we only had the one. And yeah, so it felt really private, even though there were other people who definitely saw it and were like, congratulations, as we were walking away. But they were all like far enough away. Obviously the beach is really open. So like it was chill. But in terms of like the grand gesture that followed that, like Ryan had coordinated with my dad and my dad's now fiance, and then my friend Sydney to like come down and meet us. Like they were at the Airbnb when we got back from getting engaged, which I kind of figured out because I saw my dad's truck in the parking lot. So I knew, but I also kind of thought maybe he was going to do that, but it was still really lovely to like come back and like have his parents there, my parents there, and my friend Sydney. So that was like the perfect size of like quote unquote public grand gesture, like with other people involved. Cause like his parents, my parents, like one of my best, closest trusted friends, like that's perfect because I'm not feeling like weird or like I'm being like perceived.
That is the thing that people don't tell you about, like when you get engaged, is how much you are perceived. And
Yeah, it's a little voyeuristic in a way that is like, but then like if I see people get engaged in public, I do the same thing. I stare.
Yeah.
What else am I supposed to do?
I don't know if I've ever seen anyone get engaged in public.
Really?
Well, oh wait, well Hannah and Matt did kind of, but like,
oh well, true, yeah. That's true. We did watch Hannah get engaged.
Yeah.
I used to see people getting engaged all the time when I used to go, when I used to run around the lake on the hike and bike trail, because there are a lot of really beautiful like benches and places you can hang out and like cool bridges with views of the skyline and stuff. So like I used to see people get engaged a lot because I would go running after work at like golden hour when it was so beautiful out. So like I would probably see an engagement like once a month there, which was awesome.
So on the topic of grand gesture engagements, my friend / boss lives near a very nice park in Houston, and it has become the hot spot to get engaged.
Really?
Where people will rent those giant marquee letters and do like the whole picnic thing.
Whoa.
And so it's become this like cottage industry in Houston, and probably in a lot of other cities too. And like, but every time he goes on like evening walks a lot, and every time he sees one, he sends me a picture. And like he saw one on like a Tuesday evening, and he was like, who gets engaged on a Tuesday? And I was like, man, they got that weekday discount rate on those letters. Like, yeah, you get engaged on a Tuesday for a discount.
You know, I've definitely seen people with those letters, like not in person, but like photos of people with those letters, like in Zilker Park in Austin, and like at Auditorium Shores in Austin, like the big kind of parks in town. I would hate that. I would hate that.
I'm going to go on record and say I would also hate it. Not that I need to worry about that anymore, but
but like I don't think I would mind like a little picnic blanket setup, like something like that. But I don't want something that like brings a lot of attention.
Right, and I
wouldn't mind like some flowers or something, you know, subtle, but like that's it.
That is a truly everybody look at me in these 9-foot letters that say "Marry me." Like, absolutely
not.
The best one he saw was one with 9-foot letters that said "Be my girlfriend," which is
okay. I need to get in the group chat where he sends these because I want them.
All right, I'll get you. Tell
him to loop me in.
I'm gonna tell him to loop you in.
Yeah.
But yeah. I think
it's not just reels about Shih Tzus anymore. Our relationship is progressing
to marriage proposals in Eleanor Tinsley Park. So
yeah. For context, Abigail's boss / friend loves tiny dogs, and I have tiny dogs, so he sends me Instagram reels of tiny dogs.
Yeah, I love that.
Very wholesome friendship.
Yes, just solely based on tiny dogs.
Yep, I've met him once.
Yep. Yeah. So yeah, I think a grand gesture is a very like know your audience situation, and
for sure
it better not be, for me personally,
right,
a baseball park proposal.
Okay, question. Yeah. How did you feel about all of us being at the bar after you got engaged?
Oh, I did like that, and like it was overwhelming, but I'm glad it happened. I think I was just like, I mean, as you know, and I don't know if the listeners know, but like I knew my engagement was coming for 6 weeks.
Abigail acted like a fucking psycho.
Of course I did. Like,
I mean, I acted like a psycho before I got engaged too, because I suspected it was coming. So like me dealing with you was my karma coming back around. But like you were a psycho.
Yeah.
I say that with so much love in my heart.
Look, I can also look back and be like, yeah, I was going insane because again, I knew mine was coming because Austin told me. So like imagine
I love Austin so deeply. So deeply. What the fuck?
It was bonkers.
Because listen, do you want to know how much work I had done up until this point? And he just told you.
And the way he told me, so for listeners' benefits.
I feel like we've told this story, but tell it again because it's good.
Yeah, just in case. I'll tell it quick. But Austin was in Italy and on a work trip. And so we were talking on the phone, and it's like 10 or 11. No, it wasn't that late because I was able to get a hold of you.
Yeah.
And
I was in Colorado. It was like over Thanksgiving break.
Yes. Or like Thanksgiving was very, very soon.
Yeah. So, for me, it was Thanksgiving break, but yeah.
And so he was in Italy, and it's like nighttime in Austin where I am, obviously. And we're having like kind of a like vaguely serious conversation about something. Like we weren't in a fight, but we were like having a serious conversation. And I hear him do this big sigh over the phone. And I'm like, what's wrong? And he's like, I just got an email, and like, I'm pretty sure you knew already, but I was going to propose this week and the ring's not ready. And the first thing I said was, I'm going to throw up. And because I had said to Katey,
this was like on Tuesday night, and he was going to propose on Friday.
Yes, he was going to do it with
or
like,
Saturday or something, but it was within days.
Yeah. And so like I had said something to Katey like the week before of like, oh, Austin said something about like us getting pictures done while we're in Denton for Thanksgiving. I wonder if he's going to propose, but that seems kind of crazy because I have a family diamond in my ring, and I had seen the original setting of the ring like 3 weeks before. So I was like, surely that stuff doesn't like happen that fast. It doesn't, as we learned. And so I knew for weeks, and I was just waiting for it to happen. And yeah, it was a monster. So
it was fun though. It was fun to fuck with you until I realized that you were not having a good time.
It was, I was like, I did not like being out of the loop, and I felt like people were making fun of me, which like they kind of were, and like it's fair. And
Hannah and Abigail's sister and I privately were like, LOL, what a psycho. Well, then I had a separate group chat with all of our girlfriends telling them like, hey, we're going to meet at the bar afterwards. Here's the thing. And we were all making fun of you too, because I was like, she's being crazy, and it's so cute.
Again, like, who wouldn't be crazy in the situation, though?
Exactly. Again, I was insane. So, like, I really can't fault you for it. It was just very funny.
I'm sure it was. But it, like, the day of me getting engaged, and I had told Austin, like, okay, I know it's coming. And I knew my sister wasn't going to be there for Christmas, but I was seeing her, like, a weekend in December. And I was like, it doesn't have to happen when Hannah's here, but I would really like to celebrate with Hannah. Mm-hmm. And had he been smart, like, maybe he would have done it before Hannah came, and we could have still, like, had the engagement party at the bar.
Yeah.
But I was just a monster, especially.
That was part of the plan, that was a proposed piece of it, because that night that I couldn't go to Charlie Brown Christmas because I had the stomach flu, which you thought I was faking because you thought that you were getting engaged that night, but I definitely had the stomach flu.
Yes.
He was like, should I just do it tonight? And I was like, yo, I ordered a cake. Like,
Katey did put a lot of sweat equity into.
Yeah, I was like, do whatever you want, honestly, but like, we can't change when the engagement party is. That I'm not going to do.
Yeah.
So if you want the party to be the same day as you getting engaged, we got to keep the plan the same. And at this point, I was just kind of micromanaging it because I was like, we just have to do it. We just got to do this. We got to make it happen.
And I think too, it's like, for anybody who is like going to get engaged or thinking about it or whatever, like, it's okay if your engagement is not perfect. Like there are a couple things of mine that like I wish I'd gone different, because I was a monster. The morning of, I was like, so it has to happen this weekend because Hannah is here and he knows I want to celebrate with my sister. And I was in my closet about to have a panic attack because I didn't know what to wear. I had this outfit planned and it was too warm to wear it. And Hannah comes in and she sees me freaking out, and she was like, and I was like, I don't know if it's going to be tomorrow. And like, I just can't do this anymore. And she's like, do you want to know? And I was like, I don't know. Like, I don't want to ruin it. And she goes, it's today. And I said, okay, thank God. And so then I was able to like relax a little bit more. But like, yeah, I wish I had been able to calm down and enjoy it. And like, again, it wasn't perfect, but like, it's okay. Like, we're very happy. And so if your engagement does not live up to your expectations, or it's not this magical moment, like, it's okay. It really is.
And it's still going to feel really special. Like our dog, Ryan was so nervous and like shaking. He dropped our dog's leash like twice and also like took off running, like sprinting. Because this was like, when did we get engaged? This was like 5 years ago. So Oso was a lot younger. I guess he was like, like 7?
Yeah.
So he had a lot more energy than he does now. And at that time, when he was like young and more spry, sand made him go fucking crazy. Yeah. So he would just like shoom, shoom, shoom. And so Ryan dropped the leash twice and had to go running off after him twice. Once before he proposed and once after.
That's really funny, actually.
Yeah. So that's not like something I wish I could change. It's just like a funny little quirky thing that went like quote unquote wrong.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I like same thing with like my wedding. Like I had silly quirky things that like went wrong too. Like me not handing my bouquet over to Hannah after she asked for it. And
like
oh yeah, yeah, here. Or my dad walking the wrong way or whatever. Like those are like it's funny and like things aren't going to go like perfectly. So
And those are the things, no one notices, no one cares. Like,
no. And if they do notice, it's just like, it's kind of funny. Like me and my dad being terrible dancers and not practicing our dance.
right.
Like, it was cute.
I mean, my dad and I didn't practice ours either, and it was like a little sloppy, but it was fun.
It was fun. Yeah.
Okay. Going back to the topic at hand.
Yes.
So the answer to the grand gestures question is a big fat it depends.
It depends.
Yeah.
It very much depends. And again, loved everyone being at the bar. I'm glad not everybody saw me get engaged kind of thing. So that's a prime example of it depends.
Right. Exactly. And like, I think like men might like read these books or see romance movies or something and be like, this is what all women want. And that's certainly not true. Like there are plenty of women who would love, you know, the letters in the park saying, marry me. And there are plenty of them that wouldn't. And if you're going to be performing a grand gesture of that nature, you should probably know how it's going to be. You should probably know the woman well enough to know how it's going to be received.
Right. And also like in some
and if you don't rethink it.
Rethink everything you're doing.
Yeah.
I think too, it's like a lot of, you know, some of them too are like grand gestures and quotes of like the gesture themselves is not grand, but it is like the climax of the romance novel.
Right. Perhaps it's like emotionally grand, you know, more than like a physical, like, you know, running to the airport gate moment. Like sometimes it's as simple as just like, you know, they say goodbye to each other and then he realizes that he loves her and goes back to her apartment or whatever, you know, and knocks on the door. Like that's not grand, but it is a big gesture.
Yes.
Okay. So, the other thing that we wrote down was how to voice your feelings.
How to voice your feelings.
Yeah. These men in these books are, even though communication usually ends up being, one of the major points of conflict in these books, these men are still like almost always much better communicators than the men that I've personally interacted with romantically.
Yes, they have a way with words in ways that most men I have ever met do not. Most people I've ever met do not. And like, of course, these are written by authors. Like, and life is not written by talented romance authors. But I think it's the example being that you should be willing and able to express that you are upset or that you love somebody, or this also goes back to apologizing that you fucked up.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that. There is always the coming back and communicating part and saying what you feel. And so
certainly. I do think sometimes this is something I get kind of wrapped up in because you and I are both writers, you know, we're both creative people. And sometimes I see these like beautiful speeches that these men give these women in these books. And I'm like, what a wonderful thing that would be to like, if Ryan could do that. But like, that's not real. Like that's one of the things I have to check myself and be like, 99% of people do not talk like this. Like I don't talk like this. Like maybe if I'm writing a nice little card for Ryan's birthday or Valentine's Day or something, I can write something much more meaningful and heartfelt than I can just like speak extemporaneously is a word.
Yeah.
But that's definitely one thing that I can kind of get sucked into. And I have to be like, Katey, no, like this is not real. These are unreasonable expectations.
I mean, you guys obviously hear us talk every 2 weeks. We don't sound.
What do you mean?
I say everything perfectly and beautifully and eloquently, and I never curse, and I am very, very demure, very mindful.
Oh my God. Well, I'm so over that.
I know.
I was over it like 2 hours in.
I remember when I saw the original video and like, I'm very happy for the creator who's like filming her transition and like, that's awesome. But I saw the original video and I was like, why did this take off?
Yeah. Like it's super cute and funny, but I saw it too. And I just scrolled past it like, LOL.
Yeah. Like how did this become the thing where the Washington Post is explaining to me what demure means?
And she was on Kimmel.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Or Fallon or something. I think it was Kimmel, but one of
Jimmy.
A Jimmy, maybe not a Jimmy, a late night something.
A late night man.
Yeah, I think it was Kimmel.
Very happy for her. Very, very happy for her. And get your bag, girl, but like, but whatever, man. People are
Yeah.
weird.
Another thing that we can talk about in terms of unrealistic expectations is sex.
Yes. Ooh,
Yeah.
an excellent one. As the listeners know, and as I mean, why you're here is like these books have a lot of sex in them, and that's part of why they're like enjoyable. Like
Mhm.
we're not going to pretend,
Right.
but there is almost always I like. It's hard for me to think of an example except for Rachel Lynn Solomon's. Oh, what's that one called?
X Talk, Weather Girl, the one where they're business or pleasure.
Business or Pleasure.
Nice.
It's hard to think of a book where the first sexual encounter is not like amazing, but
Right.
Business or Pleasure, that's like the whole plot of the book is they have a bad sexual encounter
Exactly.
and they
There are some books where the first encounter that's not sex, where they're just like kind of fooling around, like maybe they're drunk or something, or there's like a consent thing, or so it ends up being kind of awkward. But that's not usually the first like actual like intercourse moment. But then the
right.
actual sex is awesome
Yes.
when they do it.
Yes. And of course, we don't want to read books with just about like realistic sexual encounter. That's the thing too, is we're not like going books expecting like total realism.
Right.
It can be very easy, like getting wrapped up in it of like, wow, like that's what it's like when I meet the love of my life and I finally get to sleep with them. Like
Exactly. I was like, look at all these men who love to go down on women.
I know that too. Yeah. Like, no,
They don't exist.
That's not
That's
always
not
real. Sometimes.
That level of enthusiasm in the books, at least, is fairly unrealistic.
Yes, there is a lot more enthusiasm for it among like all men in these books. That does not seem to be totally accurate. So.
Yeah, and that's what to me, I'm like, I'm not so sure about that.
So I think that kind of again, as maybe now it's also just like what to learn from romance in general, man and woman. But I think if you're a man reading these books, like I think it's one. Within reason, there is some great advice for you in approaching a sexual encounter.
Certainly. Because the books do tend to be the common thread is that a lot of these like sexual encounters in these books focus on the woman's pleasure, and so I think that's probably the biggest takeaway for men in terms of reading the sex scenes in these books, because that's not something that is talked about a lot. It's not something that a lot of men are necessarily used to thinking about because of the fucking patriarchy and porn and whatever else, right? So that I think that's probably the most realistic like takeaway for men, like in the sex scenes in these books.
Yeah, absolutely. And kind of also but maybe don't like read a Tessa Bailey and then think that's exactly how I should approach a sexual encounter.
Yeah, don't do it in a church vestibule.
Yeah, or have sex after a head injury. Please don't.
Yeah, not wise. Not wise.
Not wise indeed. Or also, as we know, she's got some vaguely crazy things in there.
Yeah.
Maybe don't do that first time around.
But also, like, Tessa Bailey is like the self-proclaimed queen of dirty talk, and so maybe that's something you can take. Maybe that's something to try. And if it doesn't work, that's cool too.
There's always something to learn.
There's always something to learn.
Not in full, perhaps. I don't know. It all goes back to communication, guys. That's what it is.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Honestly. Okay, so we have a list of a few men that we wanted to shout out as being model citizens in this regard.
Yes. Charlie Lastra, man of our hearts. Love
From
that.
Book Lovers. Emily Henry's Book Lovers, importantly.
Yes. Partner of Nora, who reading the book as many times as I had, I'm always kind of struck of like Charlie's very accepting of Nora in her kind of intensity, and is also very good at being supportive without being overbearing, without necessarily trying to take her problems away.
Right.
More so of like, let me meet you where you are and help you with the problem. But I'm not going to just like attempt to solve it for you and then inevitably make things worse. kind of thing.
Also a great example of the end of that book, the epilogue, is a great example of a grand gesture that is not overly grand.
Yes. A semi-grand proposal, vaguely, but that we don't even see, which is very
and just overall pretty laid back.
Yeah. It's lovely.
And then we also have, so sorry we cannot remember your name, sir, but the man in, do you have it?
Yes, that's what I was looking up just now. Justin.
Justin, in the latest Abby Jimenez book, Just for the Summer. Remember when he paddled across that lake?
In an inflatable unicorn?
In the rain, right? It was raining?
I think
it was raining.
Probably, maybe.
Maybe it rained another time. I don't know. But then he took care of the woman whose name I also don't remember.
Hold on.
Emma, when she had norovirus, and like took really good care of her. And then he also got norovirus.
Yeah. So that's a grand gesture that is not in public.
Yeah. Meanwhile, when I had COVID, Ryan was like, banished. You're banished to another room. Don't come near me.
Well,
but that's what marriage is like.
Yeah, it's better for maybe in a marriage for one person to be sick instead of both of you.
We would have just been miserable if we both had COVID. So he made the right decision. But
you have furry children to take care of. Somebody has to be
exactly. He had to like go to work and like be a productive member of society.
Again, that's real life, not a romance novel.
Exactly.
But again, if we also remember, I did question the physical ability to paddle across a lake in a unicorn, which I still don't believe could happen.
Right.
I think you would die.
But I will also say that Emma was very, very, very sick. And if I were that sick, Ryan would not banish me to another room. He would take care of me. I just want to be very clear. Yeah. I had COVID and I felt awful, but like I was fine. I could take care of myself.
Ryan's not a monster.
No. But like that time I got really bad food poisoning and I was super sick, he took care of me then.
Yeah, see?
So he would do it if I were like really, really, really ill, but he knew that I was, I was mostly just bored.
Yeah. I know. That's the thing about each time I've had COVID is like, I've just been so bored.
I know, for real.
I've had it twice and like, luckily it's been very, very mild for me. I have not had a lot of lingering effects, but it's like, I felt better like day 2 or whatever. And it's like, well, I can't leave this room.
Yeah. The first time I had it, I was super sick for like 3 or 4 days. Like but I just like slept the entire time. And Ryan was out of town, so I had to take care of myself. So then when he finally came back, I was like fine. And then I had COVID after your wedding, and I honestly felt pretty bad that first day, but I was fine after that.
Yeah. I forgot you got COVID after my wedding. Oops.
Whoops.
Wasn't from me. So
nope. And I don't know of anyone else who got sick. So it could have been from the other wedding that I went to that weekend. It could have been from the nail salon. It could have been anything, man.
Yeah. Who's to say?
Who's to say? We have an example of a man who is a bad communicator, which is Hollis from Mrs. Nash's Ashes.
Our true favorite. Love that man, but my God.
Wow.
Don't write a book about your love interest. And then,
maybe this is not a man who's a bad communicator. Maybe this is just a dumb man.
Maybe so.
Because that was a dumb decision.
In some ways he was a pretty good communicator. And then in some ways,
kept a big fat secret.
Maybe that's the lesson, truly. Don't keep a big fat secret. Especially one that you're doing in front of the other person.
Yeah.
So there's but as we have also discussed, that's not a flaw of the writer. That is a flaw of the character that moves the plot along.
Certainly. Do you have any other parting thoughts on why men should read more romance novels, or just try a romance novel?
Just try a romance novel because one, they're fun. And
that's a good time. You don't have to read serious shit all the time.
Yeah, that's
y'all don't have to be reading like fucking War and Peace or whatever. Like, have fun. Turn your brain off.
It is kind of funny when I tell people that I almost exclusively read kind of romance as somebody who like works in journalism and is a writer, and it's like, you know what I do all day? I read and I write.
Yeah.
You know what? My brain hurts.
Yeah, that's like people ask me what podcasts I listen to because I make podcasts, and they're usually just all like bullshit, like Bravo reality show recap podcasts, like not like actual good ones. And they're like, wow. And I'm like, yeah, because you know what? All the actual good ones feel like work to me.
Yeah.
So like, I want some stupid shit.
Yes. So that's, yeah. I think you should do it just because it's fun. And you should, especially if like listeners of this podcast, if you have a partner in your life who has not read a romance novel, make them listen to this episode.
Male or female.
Male or
female. Gender.
All right. Yeah. And yeah, just one, it's fun. Life doesn't have to be so serious. And as we've kind of discussed, like these books are written by and like marketed toward women. And if you want to kind of understand just like women in general a little bit more, I don't think this is a bad way to do it. I think it's like certainly enhanced and it's not like the most realistic.
Right.
But it is also, it's a great way to also understand like your partner and what they like if they're enjoying it. Like,
yeah.
When we made our husbands read It Happened One Summer, do I think they had like, actually, I think they did have a pretty good time.
I think Ryan found it pretty eye-opening because I think he thought that these books that we were reading were just like all porn.
Yeah. And they're not.
And they're not. Some of them are, but
yeah. The ones we read for this podcast usually have a decent amount of plot.
Yeah. If y'all follow me on Storygraph, you see that I sometimes read some other things.
Yeah.
But,
you know, again, we work a lot.
Exactly.
Turn our brains off.
Got to turn your brain off. And you know what? The other thing I want to add to this is that I find it really important to be widely read. And if you only read one specific type of book or genre of book, you're kind of putting yourself culturally in a little bubble. And I think it's important to try different things that are out of your comfort zone. I mostly read romance novels, but I read all genres. You know, I like to try, I have poetry books and nonfiction and, you know, like all kinds of stuff. And I think it's really important that if you want to call yourself a reader, you should try to read widely and deeply.
Yes. Great point, Katie. Good job.
And I think if you're looking for where to start, male friends who perhaps might be listening, but probably not, because I don't know do dudes listen to this?
Yes, our friend of the pod, Zach.
Oh, that's right, Zach. Oh my God, our one male listener.
All right, if you are a cishet man listening to this podcast, please reach out to us. We'd love to talk to you.
Yes, if you are a straight cis guy who listens to this, I know we have some listeners who are gay men, but if you're a straight cis guy who listens to this, reach out. We want to know what you're getting out of listening to us, other than our delightful personalities.
Yeah.
But I think if you start with like a Christina Lauren, starting with an Abby Jimenez, an Emily Henry, something like that. Even an Ashley Poston might be fun, but those are it's a little complex. But if you like fantasy, that's pretty close to that. A
Sarah Adler. Like there are a lot of really like accessible, like I don't know if I would recommend starting with the Tessa Bailey unless It Happened One Summer. Yeah.
But yeah, there are a lot of like really like a lot of the popular contemporary romance authors are going to be pretty easy to start with, I think.
Yeah, even a Jasmine Guillory, when you can get a very good option of a bad grand gesture at the I can't remember what it's called, but it literally has a baseball on the cover.
I think it's The Proposal. I think it's The Proposal.
Yes, you're right. Yeah. Yes, like that's a good one. And again, these are fun. They're woof indeed, man. Big old woof.
Yeah. But yeah, and if you're a guy and you're listening and you want like a really specific recommendation, DM us and we'll give you one. If you like, tell us what you like, we'll pick something for you.
Yes. I will say,
which is my number one favorite thing to do in this life. I would like to state that to anyone listening to the podcast, that if you want a book recommendation and you send me a list of other things you like, my favorite thing to do is pick something out for you. That's my number one favorite thing to do.
That is the biggest gift you can give Katie is
truly.
Let her pick a book for you. Doesn't have to be romance too. She'll recommend any book to you.
Anything.
Yeah. We joke. Well, of all our retirement plans that we joke about, one is that we'll open a bookstore. So
God, Katie, it's the dream. It's the dream. What are you reading right now?
Ooh, well, I am reading ACOTAR right now because on Saturday, 3 days-ish from when we're recording this.
Yes, this upcoming Saturday from when you're listening.
Yes, August 31st at 2 p.m. I'll promo it again. We will be
at the Hilton in downtown Austin.
Yes, we have our very first live show where we will be discussing ACOTAR. And fear not if you don't live in Central Texas. If you live in Central Texas, come see us. We would love to meet you in person. But if you don't,
if you use the code %pod, you get 25% off. So it's like less than $40 to come see us if you just buy a Saturday ticket.
And you get to see our faces. What's more priceless than that?
What's better than that?
Yeah, what's better
Some of you may not even know what we look like.
Yeah, crazy.
Don't get your hopes up. Actually, no, we're super hot in addition to being super funny.
I am actually 6'1" and
a supermodel.
And a supermodel. Actually, I'm hiding.
Actually gets mistaken for Imrata all the time.
All the time, man. Just last night, actually. Totally.
No. Anyway, yes, on Saturday at 2 p.m. at the Hilton in downtown Austin. It is the Faye Ball. We should say what the event is.
Yes.
So you can go to the Faye Ball website and get tickets, either a 3-day ticket or a daily ticket, or they've got all kinds of options. But our discount code %pod will work on any of your tickets.
Yes. This is all on our Instagram too, if you forget. But yeah, all that to say, I'm reading ACOTAR right now.
Woo!
You know what? I think they got me. So I don't know. Katie just zoomed back in her chair.
I just pushed my rolly chair back far from the mic
in excitement.
Wow. Okay, don't tell me anything because I gotta go in. I know we're gonna plan, but I want my reactions to be genuine. So don't give away the farm.
I am going to have a big reading time tonight because I need to make sure I can write all my notes and get everything in order. So I'm going to work out and then I'm going to probably pour a nice glass of wine and sit upstairs and read. And so I won't say anything else. But for all of our ACOTAR girlies, we will put the episode. We are recording the episode. It's a live recording. So we are recording it and it will be in the feed later. But again, if you live
we don't know exactly when because we haven't talked to them about how quickly we're going to get the audio file back. Hopefully it'll be the next episode after this one, but if it's not, it'll be soon after that. So you won't have to wait too long. And we'll share a lot of pictures and Instagram stories and stuff from the event if you can't make it. But I already did get a couple of messages from people who don't live here that are excited about listening. So I'm very excited.
I'm excited to talk about it. I'm excited for that we get to do a live show. I never thought we'd get to do this. It's really cool.
I know. I'm giddy that you're enjoying the book.
I think I am. So yeah, I'm not going to say anything else.
And they only get better. Anyway,
Katie, what are you reading before we get too giddy and just
so I do need to pick up ACOTAR again. I did reread it 2 weeks ago. I listened to the audiobook, but part of it was when we were driving back from the beach and I fell asleep. Plus I wasn't taking notes or anything. And I actually I know you borrowed my paperback copy. I had Amazon points where I had 30 Amazon dollars or something. So I just ordered another copy that I can take notes in since you have mine. So nice. I'm going to kind of do a speed read of it. Just to make sure I'm remembering everything because since I've read all the books, I'm sometimes having a hard time remembering what happens in the first one, things that you don't know yet, So I'm going to pick that up, but I actually picked up day before yesterday, the sequel to Icebreaker, Hannah Grace's Icebreaker, which came out a while ago.
Yes.
And I've had it for a long time. I just haven't really been in the mood for it. And I was just kind of randomly scrolling through my Kindle and I was like, fuck it, I'm going to read this. So it's Wildfire by Hannah Grace. And it's really lovely. It's really, really fun. It takes place at a summer camp. The characters are really charming. I'm having a really fun time with it.
Yeah, I have it on my Kindle. I can't remember if it's because I bought it when it was on sale or if it was a Kindle Unlimited thing.
I think you bought it. I think it was on sale.
Okay, I hope so because it's one of those that I picked up and I read a few pages and then I got distracted and didn't go back to it. But go back and listen to our Icebreaker episode. We had a great time reading it. That silly book. So yeah.
Talk about people who are good at communicating.
Yes.
I think college men should read Icebreaker.
Actually, absolutely.
/ men in their early 20s, late teens.
Yes. Talk about an unrealistic book, but if you want a good example.
Exactly.
To learn from you guys.
Exactly. But yeah, I'm having fun with that, but I am going to put it down today for a few days while I kind of speed read back through ACOTAR again to prepare.
Boy, oh boy.
I know. So hopefully we will see some of you on Saturday. If not, y'all know where to find us.
Yep. We again, it'll be in your feed later. We'll announce
At some point in the near future.
Yeah. So don't worry. You can all participate in my roasting.
Ha.
Maybe not roasting. Who knows?
Maybe not.
Maybe not. Katie's like, now that you maybe like it, I'm not going to be too mean. So.
Well, I was never going to be mean. The thing is, there are just a lot of things that I am going to know that probably a lot of the audience members that are going to know that you will not know. So I think probably there are going to be a lot of opinions that you will have that
will be wrong.
That will be wrong. And so that's where the roasting comes in.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
Well,
anyway,
send this to your send this episode to your local romance cynic and let us convince them.
Yes, exactly.